Hello there, welcome back to my views and news. It seems that in the past few weeks, some developments have happened in the Horn of Africa, in this part of Africa, uh, which are going to lead to problems for Ethiopian government. Ethiopian government is in hot water. Isaias Afwerki is making new moves to counter a new narrative launched by Ethiopian PM Abiy and Ethiopian government about the access to the Red Sea. Isaias Afwerki's new moves are regional moves. We'll try to have a look at this development. Can Ethiopia counter this regional challenge? We'll analyze in a separate video. In this video, only will focus on the regional challenge which Ethiopia is going to face, because Eritrea is trying to form a broad regional alliance against Ethiopia, or which could be used against Ethiopia. Now, PM Abiy launched a narrative. Not a few days ago, discussions have been ongoing for some time, obviously, that discussions of Prosperity Party leaders, discussions were held under an institute in Oromia about need for Ethiopia to have access to the Red Sea. And then finally, PM Abiy spoke 2 days ago, a 45-minute long speech, and he sent a direct message to Eritrea that talk to Ethiopian government. We want access to your ports, unconditional access. Unconditional means that we are ready to give something in return. You can have our territory, you can have our shares in our dam, etc. But we want full control over the corridor, the port, the coast. His message was for Eritrea, it wasn't for Somalia or Djibouti. That is why we're seeing reaction from Eritrean Diaspora. How is Isaias Afwerki countering this coming threat from Ethiopian government? Firstly, it's not that war is going to start. Again, I'm saying I have to repeat that in each and every video. No war is coming, please. We must not create conflicts. We analyze conflicts. No war is coming. Nothing is happening on the ground. No mobilization. Ethiopian government has taken a diplomatic position. It's diplomatic posturing. It's a way of putting pressure upon Eritrean government. No war on the cards so far. But obviously, if Ethiopian government has taken a position, Eritrea is bound to take a position too, officially or secretly. You cannot expect Eritrea to sit idle, waiting for the government, Ethiopian government, to put more pressure upon Eritrean government. Obviously, Isaias Afwerki, I think, saw it coming. He saw it coming. Before that, I talked about Eritrean diaspora, opposition diaspora in a video 2 days. I said that diaspora would not support Ethiopian government's position about having access to Red Sea, and that is what is happening. I talked to several people. They say, from opposition, they say that they don't support PM Abiy government's new narrative about Red Sea. At the same time, they don't support Isaias Afwerki. So, they are rejecting PM Abiy government's new position about the Red Sea. But they don't want to be seen as supporters of Isaias Afwerki's government. So, Eritrean diaspora, pro-government opposition is overwhelmingly opposing Ethiopian government's new position about having access to the Red Sea. So, unknowingly, PM Abiy's government has created unity among different Eritrean diaspora groups. It does not mean that these Eritrean opposition and pro-democracy groups will sit at the table to support Isaias Afwerki. No, but if war, God forbid, if war starts, what will diaspora do? What will opposition Eritrean groups do? Will they support Ethiopian military? while their land is faced with war from Ethiopia? No, they will not. Now, coming back to the topic, PM Abiy took a position. Isaias Afwerki saw it coming. It isn't surprising for him. He is now trying to form a regional alliance. A regional alliance already formed because the regional dynamics suit Eritrean government, not Ethiopian government now. Why? Sudan, firstly. Sudan is split. Parts under RSF control, some parts under Sudanese military control. Sudanese military led by Al-Burhan. Al-Burhan, close ally of Eritrean government. He visited Asmara a few weeks ago. Warmly welcomed there. Eritrea then hosted Sudanese groups for talks. Talks were held there and Ethiopia sidelined. Burhan has not visited Ethiopia so far. So, Sudan, Eritrea, part of the alliance. Third member, strong member, Egypt. Egypt, now it has been confirmed that last month, Egyptian government transferred, they provided combat drones to Sudanese military. Turkish TB2 Bayraktar drones have been delivered to Sudanese military from Egyptian military last month. US has been opposing this delivery. Egypt did not listen to the US and Egypt provided drones to Sudanese military last month. Before that, Sudanese military officials went to Egypt. They were trained there about how to operate these drones, and then drones were delivered. And we shouldn't be surprised if we come to know that Turkish drone operators are there in Sudan, though no confirmation. So, Turkish drones, if you remember, played a key role in helping Ethiopian government in pushing Tigray fighters out of the Amhara Afar regions. There were two differences between Tigray fighters and Ethiopian military. One was drones used by Ethiopian force. Second difference was the participation of Eritrean military. These two factors led to advantage for Ethiopian military over Tigray fighters. The same TB2 drones which helped Ethiopian government in pushing Tigray fighters out of Amhara Afar regions are now in the possession of Sudanese military too. And can Egypt provide these drones to Eritrea as well? Now, this hypothesis isn't far-fetched, by the way, because a regional alliance has been formed. Egypt, Sudan's Burhan, and Eritrea. Just 48 hours ago, a top Eritrean delegation was in Cairo. Yemane Gebreyab and Usman Saleh. Usman Saleh is foreign minister. Yemane Gebreyab is advisor to the prime minister, to the president, Isaias Afwerki. They went to Cairo. They held meetings, top level meetings in Cairo. They met with Shukre, the foreign minister. And yesterday, they met with Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, Egyptian president. And they delivered a message from Isaias Afwerki, a written message, a letter to Egyptian president. And after that, Egyptian Egyptian government and Eritrean Information Ministry, they issued statements reiterating their cordial relations, their bilateral coordination about issues regarding regional security, stability, especially Sudan. And if you remember, a few weeks ago when a conference was organized by Egypt in Cairo, Eritrea was invited, Ethiopia was invited too. PM Abiy attended, Isaias Afwerki attended, but Isaias Afwerki there spoke as he speaks against the West, against the US, and he was very warmly welcomed in Egypt. He arrived early and he left late, I think. So, Eritrea knows pretty well that PM Abiy's government has taken a new position. It wants access to the Red Sea. And best way to counter is that Eritrea should form a regional alliance. All around or near Ethiopia, Eritrea is forming new alliance. Alliance with Kenya, with Somalia, with Egypt, with Sudan. Arab countries are at a distance. They are relevant, but it will be difficult for them to take sides if there is Eritrea-Ethiopia conflict. So overall, I would sum up that Ethiopian government is in hot water. Isaias Afwerki is making new moves. His visits to China and Russia, obviously his visit to China was about economy, but now we can say that maybe he saw something coming from Ethiopia. He knew that he should try to renew relations with his likely allies. That is why a flurry of diplomatic visits in the past few months by Isaias Afwerki and his intense diplomacy in the Horn of Africa around Ethiopia. Ethiopian government took a position. Question is this the right time to take this position about access to the Red Sea? Ethiopia just out of a war and a warlike situation in the Amhara region, a big conflict unresolved in Oromia, Al-Shabaab threatening from Somalia, Pretoria deal still not implemented, and at this crucial time, Ethiopia has decided to offend Eritrea. This move by Ethiopia is bound to have its consequences. Isaias Afwerki will hit back, you will see. Yes, he will not launch a full-scale war on Ethiopia, but he will try to form a regional alliance against Ethiopia. That if Ethiopia decides to use military option, then at least Isaias Afwerki does not want to be alone, or he does not want regional countries to support Ethiopia. So this is the regional picture which we have shared with you. I think PM Abiy's government will have to improve its relations with neighboring countries, with world powers. Intense diplomatic efforts are needed on Ethiopian part to back this new narrative of having the need to have access to the Red Sea. Thank you for watching.